Hello, and welcome to Roly Poly Weight Loss. I'm your host, Roly Poly. Welcome to day 25. So let's get going. Okay, so today we are wrapping up the week by talking about prescription diet pills. These are different from over-the-counter diet pills and supplements. In that they actually have to be regulated by the FDA. They have to have trials and be, if not totally safe, safe enough. And they have to prove that they work. And they have to prove that they actually contain at least the active ingredients that they say they contain. So much more highly regulated than the over-the-counter diet pills or the as seen on TVs. So that said, they still fall into the same broad categories of how they work that Healthline laid out. So they tend to work via one or more of these mechanisms. Reduce appetite, making you feel more full so that you eat fewer calories. 2, reduce absorption of nutrients like fat, making you take in fewer calories. And 3, increase fat burning, making you burn more calories. Okay, so same general principle of how they would make you burn fat or lose weight, more specifically, or more generally, I suppose. So, specifically, the Mayo Clinic, in their article on prescription pills, notes, most prescription weight loss drugs work by decreasing the appetite or increasing the feelings of fullness, and some do both. The exception is orlistat, which works by interfering with absorption of fat. So just like what we saw with the over-the-counters, most of them are reducing appetite and increasing fat burning, but there's one that's reducing absorption of fat, and that's orlistat. So, while over-the-counter late-night TV diet pills say that anyone can take them without, making any change to your lifestyle at all, we know that's not exactly true. And with the prescription diet pills, you actually have to meet certain requirements. So the question, of course, is where do you need to be in your process for your doctor to prescribe these? Well, the Obesity Action Coalition says that you should try diet and exercise first, of course, but then the next tool that can be used to achieve weight loss and health improvement is medication. Medical weight management may be offered to individuals affected by obesity who have failed to achieve weight loss through diet and exercise alone. Okay? WebMD also explains you'll still need to focus on diet and exercise while taking these drugs, and they're not for everyone. Doctors usually prescribe them only if your BMI is 30 or higher, or if it's at least 27 and you have a condition that may be related to your weight, like type 2 diabetes or high blood pressure. So, basically, if you are already fairly thin, low BMI, looking to drop like 10 extra pounds, your doctor's not likely to prescribe these to you. These are really for people who are very much overweight and obese. And then also, if you're sitting around like a lump eating 1 billion pounds of food every day, they're not going to give you these pills because you're just trying to make the medication do it for you, and you're not giving it much to help, to work with. So they're not likely to give it to you. If you're actively working at losing weight, if you're trying to be more active, get more exercise, you're trying to look at what you eat, then they're far more likely to actually prescribe it to you. So it's, again, not a magic pill that will just fix everything. So obviously, your doctor and you might have concerns about allergies, adverse reactions, and interactions with other medications and supplements you might be taking. Hence why you need to talk to your doctor about them. And again, because of those interactions and those inactive ingredients that we've talked about, it's really important to list everything. So you might think, oh, and I also take, you know, like lavender and melatonin supplements before bed, but those don't count. They're not a big deal. I don't need to tell my doctor about them. Well, you kind of do, because for all you know, the diet medication you want to try might interact with lavender, or there might be a common melatonin supplement where the inactive ingredient is something that interacts with the weight loss pills, something like that. So it's really important to discuss everything, because again, you never know what might be lurking. Another thing to watch out for is that prescription weight loss medication can be expensive, and insurance companies don't always cover it because it's considered elective, and so you have to be careful, and you have to weigh that of, you know, can I afford to take these? But so that's the how to get them. Okay. Now the how long. So the Mayo Clinic, in their article on this, advises how long you will need to take weight loss medication depends on whether the drug helps you lose weight and whether you have any side effects. If you have lost enough weight to improve your health and aren't having serious side effects, your doctor may suggest that you stay on the medication indefinitely. If you don't lose at least 5% of your body weight after 12 weeks on the full dose of your medication, your doctor will probably change your treatment plan or consider using a different weight loss medication. So if you weigh, let's say, 250 or more pounds, 5% in 12 weeks, it's about a pound a week. If you're at a plateau already, then that can be awesome. If you're looking to replace diet and exercise, those results aren't that impressive, as we've discussed. But in addition to diet and exercise, you can maybe get yourself up to 3 to 4 pounds a week without going into unhealthy, restricting or over-exercising territory. So that's nice. And then, as they say, there are several different weight loss pills, which we will discuss. So if you're not seeing improvement, if you're not seeing that you're losing weight with these, your doctor might switch you to another one. They're not going to keep you on one and hope that it works in the future. So with all of these, they say if you don't lose at least 5% of your body weight in 12 weeks, on the full dose. Now, again, a lot of these you'll start on a smaller dose and work your way up to a full dose because they're looking for side effects and interactions. But on the full dose, if you're not losing the weight, they're not going to keep you on it. So that's something to keep in mind. Now, with that covered, let's look at the why of these pills. Why do they work? Are they really legit? Do they work? And again, FDA approved, they have to work. Yay! So there's a short list of pill types, and they work in those 3 different ways. And again, I warn you, I'm going to do my best, but I'm going to butcher some of these names. It is inevitable. Possibly all of them. Actually, there's one I know I'll get right, so we have that going for us. So the first one is phentamine, and the brand names are Adipex P and Lamira. And this seems to be a caffeine-like pill. If you recall what we said about diet pills with caffeine in them, over-the-counters, it can only be used short-term because you can build a tolerance, and it can have some of the same heart-related side effects as the caffeine diet pills, but it is much safer. And you might have noticed that its chemical name sounds suspiciously close to the ephedrine and ephedrine class. There's a reason for that. Now, does it work? Well, the Obesity Action Coalition says the average weight loss is 4 to 5% of your weight after 1 year. In a 200-pound person, this means about 10 pounds of weight loss. So again, that's less than a pound a month. Not ideal, but also you can really only use these short term, like only a few weeks, WebMD warns. We're not talking months here. So I'm not sure, unless they just extrapolated out the data, or if those people who were on it for a year is how they found out it can only be used for a few weeks. Also, it can cause dependence. So again, I'm not sure where those year-long figures are coming from. And they warn you not to take it at night for the same reason as the caffeine-based diet pill, over-the-counter diet pills, because it can cause insomnia. So, and WebMD actually kind of sheds a little more light on this. Phentermine is an amphetamine. Because of the risk of addiction or abuse, such stimulant drugs are controlled substances, which means they need a special type of prescription. So yeah, this one actually is speed. Okay, but again, FDA tested, FDA approved, relatively safe, lower dosage. But there's a reason you can only take it short term. And because you're taking it short term at low doses, that's why you won't see as impressive results as you will on the much less safe over-the-counter version. Now, there's a second category that branches from this, which is phentermine topiramate, ER. And the name brand appears to be Quizmia. You shouldn't be allowed to put an S right after a Q. There should be a U in there so I know how to say it, but I'm going to go with Quizmia. So the phentermine, the speed, we know about. So what's with the topiramate? Topiramate is a medication used in migraine prevention as well as seizure prophylaxis. It was found that a common side effect of this medication was weight loss. And this is one where you see where people will take something for what it's not prescribed for. People found out that this headache medicine caused them to lose weight. So they were like, hey, I'll get a prescription. I'll go to my doctor, say I have headaches, get this headache medicine, and use it to lose weight. So this is what we talked about last time with using things off-label. Well, they decided, hey, let's use it on-label for weight loss. And they smushed it together. And it seems that this balances out some of the negative effects of the phentermine. So not only can you use it long-term, with less chance of those heart palpitations and other fun side effects, but you lose more weight from the combined drug. Among individuals who took the highest doses of quazimia, 15 milligrams of phentermine and 92 milligrams of topiramate ER. For 1 year, they achieved an average of 14.4% weight loss. In a 200-pound person, a 14.4% weight loss would mean a loss of 29 pounds. Cholesterol levels have also been shown to improve. Woohoo! So, I mean, 30 pounds in a year. That's fantastic. So, I mean, that's really great. And again, like I said, less of the crazy side effects from combining the two. You can see that the phentamine is a very small milligram dosage in that compared to the other, and that's at the highest dose, again, because you work your way up. Now, you have to be extra careful with this because the topiramate can cause birth defects if you get pregnant while taking this. So even though you get less of each drug from this combo than you would have taken either of them on their own, it's enough to be cautious about. They do warn you. So that's just something to keep in mind. But you can't argue with those results. If you're willing to risk the side effects of both of those medications, slapping them together seems to work really well. So the next formula is orlistat, which is, the brand name is Xenical, or Ally. It's got two things. So Ally is actually kind of unique. It is a lower dose version of Xenical. Exact same stuff, exact same company, but it's a lower dosage. Because it's that low, you can get it over the counter. And this is the only legit medication that you can get over the counter, is Ally. Now, if it's kind of working for you but not as much, you can go to the prescription version with your doctor and take the Xenical, which is higher doses. Now, this is the unique one. This is the one that keeps you from absorbing as much fat. So about a third of the fat you eat isn't absorbed. But we noted the problem with this, with the over-the-counter pills, is that good fats aren't absorbed, and fat-soluble things like your vitamins A, B, C, D, etc., that whole alphabet, if they're fat-soluble and you get them into your body via fat, you don't get them if you block your fat. So you have to take extra vitamins beforehand, like literally in the day before you take your orlistat. And another thing they noted is that if you're already on a very low-fat diet, it won't help that much, which makes sense. If you're getting, I don't know, 100 grams of fat a day, I'm not sure how realistic a number that is, but let's go with it for nice evenness sake. If you're, or 99, if you're getting 99 grams of fat a day, a third of that is 33 grams of fat. That's substantial. If you're only getting 30 grams of fat in your meal every day, then that's only 10 grams that's blocked. So that's not as much that you're keeping out because you're already so low. So I can get where you wouldn't see as much of the benefit if you're already taking in so little fat. Something to consider. So that's what orlistat and Ally do. Moving right along to another appetite suppressant, we have lorcaserin HCI. Brand name is Belviq, again with the Q's. According to the Obesity Action Coalition, it works by helping you feel full while eating less, and it works on the chemicals in your brain to help decrease your appetite. So that's exciting. Now, unfortunately, it only seems to average 7% weight loss after a year, which is not fantastic. I mean, every bit of weight loss is great, but compared to other things. But it can have some good side effects. Blood sugar, cholesterol, and blood pressure levels have also been shown to improve. So that's really exciting. If you're maybe doing kind of okay on the weight loss via diet and exercise side, but you still have all of the medical complications, this one might be a good one purely for its good side effects. But again, WebMD has a specific note that if you don't lose 5% of your weight after 12 weeks of taking lorcaserin, your doctor may tell you to stop taking it because it's unlikely to work for you, the FDA says. So again, keeping in mind that because this one does have a lower, I mean, only averages 7%, so if you're not seeing 5% at least, then it might not even be working for you, even though it might be lowering your blood sugar, cholesterol, blood pressure, etc. So, also, I'm not sure if that 7% average actually includes the people who were only at 5 or less and who stopped it. It might be that if it actually works for you, it'll do slightly better. I don't know. But the Mayo Clinic warns that larcaserin initially raised concerns because it works somewhat like fenfluramine, a drug that was withdrawn from the market because it damaged heart valves. However, there is no evidence that larcaserin damages heart valves. Larcaserin is typically well tolerated. Okay, so the concern was that it works somewhat like the other drug, which damaged heart valves. But there's no evidence that it does. But just be aware that if you take it, you might want to get your heart valves looked a little closer at, just in case. Obviously, it was approved, and as they said, it's typically well tolerated. There's no evidence it damages them, but just keep that in mind. Okay, so WebMD also notes that people with diabetes or who take depression medications or are pregnant can have different or worse side effects than those who don't on this one. So this one, you really need to go full disclosure with your doctor before taking this one, because it seems to be more restrictive in who should take it. Now, something completely different is liraglutide injection, and brand name is Saxenda. And yes, you heard that right, injection. This is actually a diabetes medication that is being repurposed for weight loss. As WebMD explains, it mimics an intestinal hormone that tells the brain your stomach is full. And then the Obesity Action Coalition breaks this process down for you. In 4 trials consisting of more than 5,000 individuals, participants received 3 milligrams of liraglutide daily. The outcomes showed that among individuals who took the medication for 1 year, 73% of the study subjects lost at least 5% of their body weight. In a 200-pound person, this would mean a 10-pound weight loss. Also, 41% lost at least 10% of their body weight. In a 200-pound person, this would mean a 20-pound weight loss. So, your odds seem to be pretty good on losing 5% to 10%. And of course, the obvious flaw is that you have to be cool with injecting yourself every day. And finally, naltrexone, HCI, and buprofen, HCI, which is Contrave, and that's the one I know I will say correctly. Contrave is the brand name. And this is another combo drug. Naltrexone is a medication used for the treatment of narcotic and alcohol dependency. Buprofen is used as an antidepressant and for helping people stop smoking. When used in combination, these 2 medications work together in the brain to decrease appetite and control eating. So this seems to be aimed at the addictive aspect of eating, which is something I'm going to cover in depth soon. Now, because of the antidepressant aspect, this comes with a warning for suicidal thoughts and also a warning for people with seizure disorders. So again, do a thorough check with your doctor first. Now, the stats for a year's use: 65% of the study subjects lost at least 5% of their body weight. As we know, 10 pounds. And then also, 39% lost at least 10% of their body weight. In a 200-pound person, this would mean a 20-pound weight loss. Improvements in bad cholesterol, triglycerides, and good cholesterol were also seen. So again, not all of the side effects were straight up weight loss, but just general improvement of your health. Now,
activity completed.
Thank you. I'm going to go long today. Now, I actually tried this one a few years ago, which is how I know I'm saying the name right. Saw it on TV, talked to my doctor. I unfortunately got the side effect of daily headaches. And at the time, with my stressful job, it was not a good combination. But now that I'm in a less stressful position, less stressed overall, I would be willing to give it another go, because I was not on it very long. I was not even on it long enough to get up to the full amount. So I'd be willing to try and see if the side effects are less severe or less job interrupting. The Mayo Clinic also notes that the milder side effects, your headache, nausea, etc., can lessen over time. And I might have just needed more time to let the headaches go away. So I'm hopeful. So those were the specifics of each medication. The Mayo Clinic has some more advice for weight loss medications in general. All prescription weight loss drugs approved for long-term use promote significant weight loss compared with placebo. In addition, studies show that the addition of weight loss medication to lifestyle changes results in greater weight loss than lifestyle changes alone produce. Okay, so again, we're looking at actually doing the diet and exercise part of it, and this will just add to it. Okay, so if weight loss medication can bump us up, it's not a substitution for good diet and exercise, but it's potentially a good addition to your plan. And that's it for today. This has been Roly Poly Weight Loss. As always, I am your host, Roly Poly. If you feel comfortable, please share your experiences with the hashtag weight loss and medication. Have you tried any of these? Were the side effects worth it? Please share. I'd love to get more perspective, especially if you had a side effect and pushed through it, like I did not. Did it get better? Let us know. And please join me next time.